Boost dance.
Wait,
So who's going?
I'll take it.
Thank you.
Go for it.
Hey everybody, welcome to Straight Chilling. This is Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
This is the podcast where we watch a horror movie and then review it.
It's called Straight
It's
Chill.
shaping up great so far.
Yep. Tonight was not my pick. We do a rotation on movie picks. If you didn't know this, tonight was a new one for us.
Uh-oh.
Tonight, new entry.
A new member.
I feel like I'm inducted now. I feel like this was my my coup de grace here.
Mr. B.
It's your coming out party.
We were worried that 7 or 8 people per cast just wasn't cutting it.
Yeah.
Don't let it go to your head.
Too much silence in between.
It's an ensemble cast now.
Yeah. So Brad's our newbie.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, what's going on? I'm official now.
Also, we got Ricky Rickro.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good. Good. You know, just chilling.
Straightly.
Yep. Boss out of town this week, so you know,
Whoa.
living up. She's an ex-teacher, so she gave me a boatload of homework.
That sucks.
Is that a pun or is that?
No, she did leave me like a teacher would.
Yeah.
She literally laid it out.
Got their subs all ready to go.
Yeah, she already.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping I'd just be able to run my own week, but that's not the case.
She's not the kind of teacher that would leave just a video for the class.
No.
We'll have us die hard, I guess.
With a sign-in sheet or something.
Yeah.
No.
Watch this Bill Nye and shut up.
That's the kind of teacher I'd be.
She's not subscribed to Straight Chilling, is she?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Not yet.
No,
I wouldn't be able to hear about their sexual encounter.
It was. It was fine. It's busy, but it's you know, it's fine.
The juice stains?
Hey.
Cream stains?
Yes, sir. Finally mixed
Cream
it
to
up
the
tonight.
max. Tell us about your cream.
I had the banana split in a cup. It was hearty and delicious.
Has anybody else here had that?
Yeah, it was.
We frequently shouts out to Dream It.
Of course, especially all summer.
Duval natives.
Been
Yes.
creaming it up.
So they have their special, which is the
Banana split in a
in
cup.
a cup.
Yeah, and it's like, that's what it is. It's a banana split in a cup, but it's got a lot of fruit.
But it's
in it.
not a full
This is the
banana
most
split.
informative podcast.
Yeah, no, it's got bananas,
Yeah.
walnuts,
Yeah.
cherries, pineapples.
It's like a smoothie.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
instead of the
every day.
sauces,
chunky.
instead of the sauces.
So what you're describing to me
Well,
is a small banana split.
so it was good.
So it is exactly as you would expect it to
Yeah.
be.
It's just in a cup.
Okay.
I kind of like this segment, Justin's cream of the day.
I know.
Cream of the
It's pretty
day.
nice.
I'll switch it up in the fall. I'll probably go back to drinking my brains out, but for the summer I've been creaming.
Well, I always had the banana splits with like the
side.
sauces,
Yeah.
not fresh fruit.
Yeah.
Like,
Can we get
instead
you
of
some-
strawberry sauce? No, strawberries. It's great. Drewby,
Hey,
you
Jack.
don't look very interested in our cream talk.
Oh, no, I very much was.
This is
He's
interesting.
daydreaming.
I wish I had gotten cream instead of Chipotle.
Uh-oh.
You're tearing you up right now.
I got some Pepto in the medicine cabinet.
Some burrito shits?
Don't be tempted to also cream, because you will regret that. that combo shan't sit well.
I'm not going for anything more.
Chipotle is a good place to stop.
Yes. But I
Candy?
did find. Oh, wait a minute.
Let's talk about Chipotle.
I was just gonna say real
Welcome
quick.
to Chipotlecast.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Chipotle in a very long time because every time I go, the line is around the fucking building.
They
True.
are that place.
True.
Is always.
They know how to pack a bitch out. That's good
Today,
enough.
I found the perfect time to go. It was immediately after leaving work, go straight to Chipotle.
Yeah.
There were like 6 people in there.
No, that's actually pretty
Man.
brilliant.
You know, people are tired and people like their
It's actually-
non-GMO foods.
Yeah, they do.
It's a busy one.
And I'm working the same area, so pro tip, thank you.
The secret is to order online.
Oh,
You grab it,
doubling down.
You're out.
That would appear to not be a secret.
I ordered online once and I still waited 10 minutes after I got there.
I did that at Five Guys once too.
That sucks. Well, Justin's pre-ordered sandwiches just to find they've already been stolen.
I
Not from
know.
Chipotle. It was,
If you listen to an earlier cast, I can't point you to which one. You'll hear all
Have to-
about my stolen sandwich.
I have to have Remembering Ralph or something.
On our previous episode.
Previously.
Okay, I'm
Sorry, chilling.
And Gandhi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
Pretty good.
How are you doing? We've all told you.
How are you doing?
The combo.
I just wanted to address the room. That's all. I have no real contribution. I feel good. I'm enjoying myself.
That's
And
good.
let's do this podcast.
Good vibes. Good vibes.
We're missing Bob tonight. We might
Yeah.
have to fire him because of his availability.
We're
Yeah, he is
Bob.
available.
So if our sound is less quality, blame Bob.
As you would anything, really.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's not here, so he can't fend for himself.
Oh, we would say the same if he was here.
Oh, would
Well, tonight was B-Rad's pick, and he picked VHS2.
Number dos.
I did.
Sort of.
Why'd you pick this one, Brad?
Well, I mean, honestly, I love the first one. I'm a big fan of movies that are kind of broken into, individual stories. Kind of like Twilight Zone, the Twilight Zone movie. And I figured
Apologies.
it's a good starting, movie to pick. It's pretty bloody, pretty gruesome. A lot of people being eaten and shit, and I like it. So I went for it.
And you had never seen this one, right?
I have not seen this one. I have seen the first one though, and it's
Same
it's
formula.
the same formula. Yeah, there's not a whole lot different, but
So we might as well just be reviewing the same.
Yeah, you didn't
Just
expect
wrap 'em
anything
all.
different,
no,
right? Okay.
I did
He was
not
going for
expect a different
consistency.
If
thing.
it was different, I would be disappointed.
And Drew had also not seen this one, correct?
Yeah. I've never seen the first one either.
Yeah.
This sort of thing isn't really your bag, though, is it?
No, yeah.
Yeah, you
I
don't
was
like found
kind of
footage.
remembering that throughout the movie.
Save it for the cast, Drew.
I've sat with Drew through many found footage films, which I don't know how because
It's true.
like you are on record as not liking them very much.
Well,
Yeah, as I say, it's odd that he hates them so much, but I've seen a
Well,
couple
he's
of
done
them.
his diligence. The man has a. If he hates them, he has a reason because
Nope.
he's seen like 5 of them.
Still hate them.
Because they used to be the
Goes
ticket
back
to free
to his
movies,
day.
that's why.
Well, I guess that's a good point. I forgot what it's like to live the high life like that.
So tell us about this film, Brad. Give us a synopsis from
Man.
Netflix.
How would you describe
Two-
this film in Netflix's words?
Two private eyes investigating the disappearance of a student.
That is not. I'm sorry. Says private eyes like your eyeball. That is not a thing.
Yeah.
It's private investigator. The letter I.
Yeah.
That's like a fucking.
It makes him sound so secretive,
I
like
know.
they're so private.
Private eyes is like a Hall & Oates song.
It's like
or some
something.
shit.
It's like somebody wrote it by like with Siri or something.
That is hilarious.
Anyways,
I did a search
VHS2.
for private eyes.
It really feels like somebody half-assed this Netflix synopsis. I'll be honest with you, because it's a sentence long on something that
Sure.
is multiple stories.
Yeah, it's
true.
So
I always wonder who they got like describing every one of these films.
Well, I'm sure they just take it from.
Interns.
I'm waiting for the one that says it is a movie. Period.
This movie features moving images.
The
Yeah,
most
ready to
thing,
quit.
the most
Motion
famous
film.
phrase, the most like hit phrase for private eyes when you Google it is a Hall & Oates album.
I nailed that shit. That was fully out of my asshole.
That is the only thing that comes up.
That's amazing, actually.
Well done, Netflix.
So
Other
two
than Private Eyes Inc.
So yeah, let's read this about these private eyes. The Hall & Oates cover band.
All right, so this movie is about a detective and his girlfriend, private eyes, whatever you want to call them. They basically break into somebody's house after they were hired by the person's mom to find him because he had been missing for a week, I believe. And then they break into the house, and as soon as they get in there, they did it at night. I mean, it's ominous enough as it is.
You skipped some fabulous breasts.
There were some pretty good. There was a private breasts in there.
That's how we established that they were private eyes.
Yeah,
I
that's-
thought he was just a pervert. I'll be honest with you. Until he's actually started talking to his we assume girlfriend. I don't know if that's even verified.
Yeah, they don't say anything.
At
about
least
that.
coworker, like partner. Yeah, at least
So-
until that point we didn't know.
Private eye, chronic masturbator. We don't know yet, but
See, I noticed the guy he was spying on they focused heavily on his wedding ring on his hand.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
notice that.
So I think maybe that guy's wife probably hired him to follow him or something.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
astute.
because I think we were talking, but when they were in the car, he called the guy who he just filmed, and he's like a sleazy kind of private eye, because he was like, hey, if I show this to your wife, she's going to stop paying me, so you can pay me to not show it to her, or whatever.
Yeah, I completely missed that.
If you want to do that, and also, like, fix my car, because he, like, kicked his car. But, anyways, we digress.
Nice.
So he sucks.
He sucks. He's a shitty guy.
I'm sorry to take us on a tangent, man.
No, it's okay. Yeah, that needed to be explained. I had no idea because I missed.
So that would be what we call like the wraparound story of this
Yeah, the
anthology.
frame story.
Much like the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
one, this one, all these VHS movies have it, as we know. It's
Yeah.
like,
So
Story within a story.
I don't know that.
the film.
we
is-
all know that.
It's essentially about these private eyes, trying to investigate the disappearance of this son of some lady that hired him, and they locate him, break into the house, and they stumble upon a very creepy set of TVs, just nothing but white noise all over. There's probably about 6 or 7 screens, and it's just sketchy from the get-go. And they start watching. There's videotapes all over the place, hence the name VHS. And they start randomly popping in videos and watching them, and in that sense, that's where the movie kind of breaks down into individual stories of what these movies have on them. They're all very, very creepy. Very
Found footage.
found footage. Most of them have GoPros in it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. GoPro sponsored this.
It's one of those.
I
It's one of those
completely believe
GoPros
that.
that record to VHS that you hear so much about.
Yeah, all those. I didn't know all about that.
Yeah, I found this footage on a VHS. It's from a GoPro.
But yeah, so there's four separate inner VHS stories in this movie.
You remember the first one?
The first one is the guy, he gets an eye implant.
Oh
The
yeah.
car
This
accident.
guy has a car accident, he gets an eye implant, and then he can see dead people a la The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, he sees digital dead people though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
that's-
and they don't want help. They want to fuck him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one lost me pretty quick. Because, again, it took me just a second to realize that this whole thing is taking place in his mechanical fake eyeball. That also, again, I've been thinking about this openly during the movie, that it also records sound, because you have sound and HD picture out of an eyeball, but my eyeball doesn't see in widescreen. You know what I mean? So, like, the whole thing seemed kind of nuts to me. Plus, like, when you zone out, there's, like, none of those moments. It's completely shot like the guy's holding the handy cam.
Yeah.
But, that's the connect, is that with this eyeball you can see ghosties.
He
Yeah.
blinked
They did throw the blink in there every
like
once in a while.
twice.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The man's eyes are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
He slept as well. So.
Yeah, that's true. But they
He usually just blinks the one.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
one blink's enough for me. I'm good for another half hour.
Constantly winking at people.
So in this one, like I said, he sees some ghosties, and it freaks him out, so he tries to back out of this eyeball implant.
Yeah.
And at about that time, a woman shows up and informs him that she had the same situation. She was deaf, so she got an ear implant, but now she can hear all this crazy supernatural stuff like he can see it. And she seems to know a lot about it and
Yeah.
have a genuine understanding of it. At that point, they see he sees a ghost scare, and she says, "I know how to keep this away," and she just takes her shirt off and.
Yeah.
has
It was her
sex with
uncle.
him.
She said it was a creepy, fucking fat
That
old
was
white
scaring
dude
him,
in a diaper
Yeah.
standing outside his window, and she's like, "Let's just go to Bone Town. That'll solve our problems."
Straight bone.
Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve hates Bone Town.
One thing, I thought it was like kind of cool because like she said she heard him, so she's never seen him, so she can just kind of like hear, so it's ambient to her. So the first thing she actually does is she turns on this blaring music. I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't think she quite grasps like that he can actually like it's like he sees the
Yeah.
full effect because she just hears it, so she throws on some like loud music and it's like on to her.
Yeah, there's
Or
no
whatever.
way for him to block it out.
Yeah,
But let's
so-
talk about this girl for a second. Because the reason she shows up in this thing, like the reason she shows up at his house is because she just saw him at the doctor's office with his eyeball thing.
That's true.
Like, that is the only reason that she showed up at his house, just in time for him to start seeing fucking ghosts. It's pretty flimsy.
Yeah. She had to do some solid PI work.
And she's got private eyes, so she should be okay. No, but she, like, and I don't know, the acting was a little goofy
Agreed.
in that one. Although, to be fair, Adam Wingard, the producer and director of this film, overall director, I think it's overall director, and certainly of that bit, he is the man in that movie.
He's the guy in that.
He's the actor.
He was also
the eyeball.
in the ABCs of Death, and he did a funny skit in that one too. So I don't know if that's like his thing, where he's kind of goofy, but he's the one where he tried to like shoot the duck. I don't know if you remember that. But they were
I
like,
didn't
"Oh,
see
we got
him.
like it was Q for Quack." They're like, "Q, what the fuck is Q?" And they go to like shoot a duck. It's very goofy. So that might be like his thing. Like I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
Oh no,
else
I do
he's
remember
done.
that. Yeah. No, I did. I just knew I recognized him, so I looked him up.
Yeah.
And he's involved in a lot of shit, but he's certainly like he's the executive producer of this. I noticed. So he's behind this. Good of him to put himself first, you know.
Of course.
He's in.
No, I
he's
mean
in as
because
a
it's
cast as well.
like it's not the main event, it's not the climax.
Yeah. So that was the first one. I thought it was. Oh, and then they get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ghost.
Well, he pries the eyeball out himself, so he assumedly can no longer see them.
That's
and then
true.
I guess
But it's still filming.
Yeah, but it's still filming. You can see from the eyeball's perspective. But I assume they kill him and he's being killed by invisible hands from his perspective, or maybe he
No,
Well-
he gets attacked by a guy.
Well,
Yeah.
she specifies that if they pay attention to these ghosts or whatever, that they can slowly make more contact
And then start hurting you.
Yeah, start hurting you.
She info dumps hard.
Yeah. She jumps in, info dumps, and then dies like probably 5 minutes.
Sex then dies.
Yes.
Well, these short little anthology bits, they gotta work.
Yeah,
they gotta
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
They gotta do that Canton Blood.
I really want to know her
quick.
background, you know? I
That
really
would
need
be-
to find out more about her.
That was one of the. I think that's what hurt this one the most is because it had so much to explain.
Yeah.
So it was like.
I feel like
it was a half info dump.
Character development was
I feel
way
like this
off.
could have been made a serviceable full movie. This idea.
Yeah,
I agree,
absolutely, yeah.
You know.
I agree.
Because it was shorter too. Because like once we got to that third one, that one was like really long. Like
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if they had like a timeline, but this one like rushed through. But I thought it was a cool concept, but
Yeah.
it definitely didn't pay off for as short as
That
it
man
was.
loves hiding in the bathroom. He hid in the bathroom like 4 times in that.
Because it worked.
That was his
And
safe
nobody
spot.
wants to go in there.
Yeah.
Not even the dead.
So what's the second one?
Number
Second.
2 was it was a zombie focused one. And I
yeah.
thought this one was really cool too. It's probably my second favorite one of the bunch. But it follows a guy biking with his GoPro.
Which we discussed as being ridiculous.
2 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, one on his head and one on his
I
bike.
gotta check my form later. I'm gonna go to the tapes. Start researching my.
I actually know multiple people that have bought a GoPro for that exact reason
This
to
is a real thing.
take themselves doing sports,
doing normal things.
outdoor activities. Yes.
I think most people would use that and then be like, "Man, I suck at sports. Like maybe I should not do this."
Stop.
Yeah, I feel like
It's just a convenient way to beat yourself up.
Like
Yeah.
he wasn't going over like cool ramps and stuff. He's just like riding his bike through the woods.
Through a trail, an
Like,
established bike
So
trail.
you like who?
No.
Why would you even want to watch your own video of you riding
Yeah,
your bike
exactly.
through the woods? You know?
You're gonna invite your friends around. Watch this part.
Right.
So that's
Got that
cool.
log.
I sped up a little
That
bit,
tree.
and then I
Yeah.
slowed down.
Look at that. There's a bug flying near me. Didn't bite me.
Here, I'm making a right turn. Put my hand up here.
So this is another
So
single
yes.
cam one
Yeah.
shot the whole time from this
Yeah.
guy's
Most of
helmet.
it.
Yeah, most of it from his head. And I think it's cool because it like kind of, it's a little different take on the zombie thing because he like immediately gets attacked. Like, he's riding his bike, some chick like asks for help, he like goes to help her, she turns into a zombie and bites him. Like that's like in the first like 2 minutes.
And he runs into a little horde of them too.
Yeah, and so
For the next
it's-
10 minutes, he's turning into a zombie.
Yeah, so the movie is from the perspective of a zombie.
Which is, I thought that was pretty unique. Like,
Yeah, I thought so too. I like
a good
that.
change.
That's one of my favorite.
It doesn't deserve its own movie, like I said. Like this is a perfect format for that. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's one of my favorite bits in the series because to me, it's one of the most original uses of their idea
Yeah.
for a classic horror trope. Like, zombie GoPro, yeah. Like, that's great. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
especially if the zombies got a little extra to them, you know, which has been done, a little more of themselves than just a zombie.
Yeah.
But, with their format, their whole, like, home video format, you could do that even with, like, a VHS, you know, player, if it was, like, attached to them. I mean, they used to have that kind of shit. Like I said, I thought it was cool.
Life of a Zombie, a documentary.
Exactly.
It also
Exactly.
it's one of those rare
Show
like zombie situations where it's implied that you can sort of come back from being a zombie. You know, you don't see that a lot in general, but they do
Yeah.
that explicitly to service an emotional story.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you know, it's fine. It makes for a good arc, I guess, but it was what it was.
Yeah, it was a cool way to kind of, because it didn't linger on it. It was just the end. Like, he just spends the whole time, like, it. This one fleshes out the gore a lot, because he literally, like, digs into a guy's stomach and starts, like, eating the guy's intestines, and then that guy becomes a zombie.
There's a lot of little funny moments too.
Yeah.
He tests out his own arm.
He gets his eyeball stabbed with a fucking barbecue fork, and the handle's just in the frame for like 10 minutes.
There was definitely a zombie learning curve for him where he was like he tries to eat his own arm, as Drew was mentioning, and then he discovers he doesn't like it, and then he tries eating some random guy who was trying to help him.
Right.
And
people
he
right
digs
through the
right in.
woods.
Before he had completely turned into a zombie.
Yeah.
He bit both him and his girl.
Yeah.
And then the best part to me is when they get in a little like trio, like three zombies wandering around trying to find fresh meat, and they stumble upon some kid's like 5th birthday party or something.
It's a little girl.
And just like it's just like a bunch of fucking
Instant
parents.
shit show.
Yeah, it was pretty fabulous. Just
Zombies call that
chewing up
jackpot.
the kid's dad on top of the birthday cake.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
that was good.
They call that chicken wings in zombie world.
Yeah.
So it just ends with him.
He
Butt dials his
The zombie
girlfriend.
butt dials is
Yeah, zombie butt dial. And his girlfriend's like, hello, you butt dialed me. And he can't speak, obviously. And she's like, I love you.
But he's like staring at it
Yeah.
intently.
And at one point, he actually like sees his reflection and is like, oh shit, like I'm a zombie kind of
Yeah.
like realization. And there was a guy firing off a gun, and he like crawls toward the gun and shoots himself.
Yeah, there was a gun dropped on the ground, and he shoots himself in the face. And they show the results.
Yeah, there's a lot of shooting. in
The
face.
also really awesome is that when he shoots himself, the helmet finally comes off and just flies in the air, directly 90-degree angle in the air, and drops right down in front of his face.
He flips a couple times.
Yeah, it does a few flips while it's at it. So yeah, what was the next one?
GoPro cameras survive everything.
That's true.
They are pretty
Again.
sturdy.
Quality ad for GoPros.
Yeah.
Indestructible.
Man.
Hey GoPro,
Next
you
one
want to
they're
give us
going-
anything?
The next one they're going
Give us
to
a
take
sticker.
GoPros
It's
to
fine.
outer
Make
space.
That's where it always
Yeah.
leads.
Yeah.
Every
Take
horror
GoPros to
movie
outer space.
continuation eventually goes to space.
Alright.
Jason X and with GoPro.
The third
Was
one was the
cult
Asian.
documentary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the best one to me.
yeah, I agree.
I agree as well.
Want to take it, Gandy?
Sure, yeah. It's basically it's these 4 documentarians, young people, talking to this sort of wily old Asian dude. Everybody in this is Asian, so it's somewhere in I don't know what country. I'm not gonna fuck
Malaysia or
up.
Indonesia?
I guess it's Asia and
Not Russia.
and so they're talking to this guy and he's talking about some sort of like enlightenment or something, and they're clearly like doing a documentary about him. And they say, hey, why don't we meet you at your compound? We'll get footage there or whatever, and just give an unbiased view of what you're doing, because he's obviously like, they imply that he has some like people know about him doing weird things or something.
Yeah.
People don't like him basically, so they take him to their compound, which is really nice. Actually, like a decent building. It's basically like it looks like a school or something, like a middle school or something. And he takes them to their office and they're filming, and there's one woman, the host of the show, who I think is like a producer or something, the host of the show, and the boom mic operator.
Yeah.
And as they're starting their interview, the boom mic operator and the girl leave the room because she starts puking from what we find out is morning sickness, and the guy with the boom accidentally knocked her up, basically.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's betrothed, engaged to the host. So this doesn't come out till later, but having an affair, baby, blah.
Yeah, which really isn't that important.
Yeah.
It is a little bit to the very, very end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
God,
kind of
that's
themed about
right.
it.
Yeah, it's important.
What's
It's important to know.
is that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
But so anyway, they're interviewing this guy, and then they're like, oh, the guy, like the two people who are still there, the sound guy or something, the cameraman and the host. The cameraman's like, oh, we're running out of battery just as the guy's getting going. So the host's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get this. And he runs downstairs, leaving those two guys alone, the old man and the cameraman,
Yeah.
just to look at each other weirdly.
That is a very awkward sequence.
He tries talking to him.
He tries talking to him, but then he's like, oh no, it's time. And then he starts making an announcement. But before that happens, the host goes downstairs, and downstairs there's like some sort of like remote visual of what is being filmed by the cameras on the other two people who are in the bathroom talking about how they cheated on this guy.
Yeah.
So the fiance's basically finding out about this shit in the middle of his interview and listening to it on these headphones on this remote thing. And then the old man makes an announcement. And everybody there starts going fucking nuts, basically.
It's pretty much the whole Kool-Aid time of the cult.
Yeah, it's like
all
we're being ascended or whatever. The old man starts taking off his shirt and he has a bunch of cuts on his belly.
Yeah, he's cut himself.
bleeding.
Yeah.
There's like pentagram type stuff.
And he's saying all sorts of wild
symbols.
shit like, our time has come, the gateway is open, and all this shit like that. Meanwhile, the two, the mother, and the adulterer guy, the boom mic operator, they go their separate ways in an argument, and she starts looking in and seeing a bunch of kids at like that were just
Preschool
singing. It's a
style
preschool
setting,
style, yeah. And they're being given this juice and it says, make sure and drink up all your juice while this alarm or whatever is happening. And the other guy sees, what did he see? Oh, he goes down and he
go to
sees,
a murder room.
Yeah.
he goes to a kill room basically. It was like a little EKG in somebody's body in stirrups, bloody, and he pulls the
Plastic
veil off of
everywhere.
it. And it's this woman, and then she jumps, and he like takes the whole cover off, and she's pregnant looking, but split from above the navel, all the way down. And she's just like, "Blah!" So all this shit's going on. People start killing themselves, shooting themselves in the face, shooting each other, running away. And then, like, the husband gets captured and shot in front of the adulterer, and he's like, I'm sorry. And then they just shoot him. And then,
the cameraman.
the cameraman gets
his fucking head almost cut off with a box cutter from the cult leader.
The cult leader's like, you interrupted me, and then slashes that dude's throat.
Well, the thing that got me is that the guy threatened him with the box cutter before that, and I was like, as soon as he did that, I probably would have bucked.
Yeah.
There's a couple moments where I said, I probably would have been way.
But they
gone
gave
at
him
this point.
the motivation of making a documentary as his reason to stick around. Yep.
He was dedicated.
Good. Yeah.
Gotta go down with your ship. I get it.
It's gonna win an Oscar, man. He's a true artisan of the truth. That is the case. Anyway, and so all the shit starts happening. That guy gets stabbed. The fiance gets killed, shot in the head, and the
woman gets
adulterer.
dragged away.
Yeah, the woman gets dragged away, and the adulterer goes to find her, and they're locked up in this room with a bunch of nurses or some shit, and the cult leader.
One who's exceptionally creepy.
Yeah, who has gone crazy.
Exceptional.
Best
creepy.
performance in all of VHS2.
I agree. He really nailed it. He was fucking. He's like 4'0" and he's very intimidating.
He's like the little boy from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, he does kind of. I can see that.
Grown up.
Just going full on
Turning cult
insane
leader.
anger, crazy rage, and so finally there's some sort of explosion or something, and the doors of this room open up, and the adulterer is looking at the priest or whatever. And he's like, you're too late, it's already done. And then he fucking explodes, pops like a fucking cherry. Like,
Before that, though, just before that, this random creature.
oh yeah.
Crawls
human
out from
creature
the
thing-
ceiling.
Yeah, like the explosion knocks the guy over, and his camera's looking up at the ceiling, and you just see this creature crawl over him.
Which is never revisited. It's just it's just the Golem of this universe.
That creature
Very
is
like
just
Resident
gone somewhere.
Evil-esque.
Yeah.
Just like scurrying away.
Yeah, it's just scampering about on the roof.
Yep.
And then basically this guy finally, he goes in and he sees that the woman is being held down or whatever, and he knocks down and uses a fucking pipe, despite having a gun 2 seconds earlier, a gun at his disposal. Starts taking a pipe to their heads, and then the lady that's being held down, his lover or whatever, she starts like saying like, "Ah, they fucked me up," and then her belly explodes, and then something
A
with
horn- no,
a
a horn
horn
pops
stabs
out.
right out.
Yeah.
You know, it just looks like a spear at first, and then you start realizing that it's like a fucking minotaur head coming out of there,
Yeah.
and that dude's finally like, "Oh, it is time for me to go."
That's when shit gets real crazy.
I mean, he got himself a few red flags in before, but that was the one that really did it.
Yeah.
So he
So
starts booking.
Starts booking.
Back
People
to-
be killing themselves. People be fucking zombies all of a
Yeah.
sudden, trying to attack him with wide eyes. And then he, breaks into a car, starts driving away, and he looks back at one point. And before he started driving away, he looks back, and there's like the Minotaur thing. I remembered it being. This is my second time seeing this. I remember it the first time being a lot more convincing because what I saw looked like a dude with a paper mache.
No, from what I remember this first time watching it, it was shit. Like, I remember it being shit.
I like that. I think I liked that segment so much that I built it up as being better in my head even afterwards. Because it was a dude with a fucking head on.
Because the whole time I was like, this is gonna be good. Oh, a horn. Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't finish that.
It looks
one.
like a Mardi Gras person.
You would not
Get your
be
stick
scared.
out and start eating
Yeah,
that favorite candy's gonna
You would
come
not
out.
be scared
It's
of
not
this
Mardi
thing.
Gras, but I appreciate you.
Oh, no, I was
You
thinking
wouldn't
more
be
like
scared of it
God.
unless it popped out of your baby mama's stomach.
Yeah,
Oh, like-
that is the only way to make that scary.
You can tell he's, by the way he's walking, that he's working really hard to keep the head balanced.
Yeah, that's true. He's kind of rubbing around, kind of half
I was
cocked.
gonna say, if I remember correctly, I think you can kind of see it kind of like rocking.
Toppling
or
or
something. Rocking.
And they should have cut away way sooner than they did. It was just 1 second too much. And then he starts driving away and gets bum rushed from the side by the fucking Minotaur. And so he's in the crash or whatever, and you're looking up from the ground. The camera's on the ground now. Yes, the camera's still there. And
GoPro.
yeah, can survive apocalypse. And then he's crawling out, and right above, like behind the car, you see the Minotaur face come out.
That's so
And it's a
dumb.
long shot, and it looks pretty ridiculous.
Doesn't look good.
It doesn't look that
At
great.
this point, it's CG. Like,
Yeah, it's at least
really
partially
bad.
CG.
Yeah, partial CG.
And then
They do
it
like
looks
his
down
mouth
at
movement.
him.
Yeah.
It looks down at him and it says "Papa," which is by far the stupidest part of that bit.
And then the dude just kind of like loses his mind a little bit.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that
when
one-
drool and snot starts
Yeah.
pouring
Just
left and
pouring
right
out of
from
his
his
teeth.
face.
Yeah, he has an epic fucking snot like strand falling from his nose towards the camera. If this movie had been in 3D, I would have vomited.
I was just about to say that. That's like, it looked like it was meant for a 3D movie that just never happened.
It's like Friday 13th Part 3 level 3D.
What an uncomfortable 3D movie that would have been.
I think that one was the one that was
It's not
directed by the
everywhere.
Blair Witch guy. Which is why the culty stuff in there was kind of Blair Witchy, the symbols and
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, I get
for
that.
sure.
Because
It even looked like the Blair Witch, like they had that little like wicker symbol.
that's what I'm
like a
talking about.
person.
Their little
Yeah.
symbol that they had
Yeah.
was Blair Witch.
That's funny that they would go back to that well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of that one, and that's definitely my favorite, maybe of all of the VHS films that I've seen. Anyway, so what's next? There's one more after that, right?
There's one
That's
more.
the
Oh, it's the
alien one.
alien.
Aliens, yeah.
Which,
So-
I think this was the funniest one.
I agree. It starts as a pretty good coming of age story.
Absolutely. It's just these, like, I don't know, 12, 13-year-old kids.
And they really are that age.
Yeah, and they're, like, being babysat by, like,
Their
his
sister.
older sister who's, like, I don't know, 17, and her, like, dick boyfriend. and
Staying
their
at a lake
friends.
house.
Yeah, it's like two brothers, their older sister who's got a dick boyfriend, and then the two brothers' two friends.
Yeah.
And they're all like 13-year-old boys, and they curse as much as a 13-year-old boy would.
It's pretty like.
At one point,
authentic.
one of the kids says, "I think she's gonna shit out her vag." And I thought that was exceptionally ridiculous.
That was pretty good.
I was like, "What the fuck?" I
They
don't know.
essentially just prank each other like the whole first half of the segment.
There was some pretty good ones though, like them hiding in the closet dressed as Santa Claus, I believe, and then running out whenever she was having
get
sex with
fucked.
her boyfriend.
I thought they were just outside her room.
Yeah,
No, they were just hanging out in the closet.
They were in the
So what
closet.
do they have?
It looked like
Masters.
a bathroom to me, like a bathroom that
maybe.
was
Maybe.
connected to a room. But
They
like,
are dedicated to the craft.
That
of
was a
pranking.
great prank.
They turned on loud music that was kind of like disco pop sounding stuff.
Yeah.
And just both sitting there with flashing lights.
Stuff the kids are listening to.
There's a little bit of like,
Disco.
there's a little bit of hint of what was to come.
discotheques.
Only really at one point, or maybe
Yeah,
two.
when they're in the water.
We're in the water, like they're squirting their friends with water guns from a lake onto a dock, and then as other kids are jumping in, and the kids that are attacking are about to make their escape, you get an underwater shot, and right as you go underwater, you just see this sort of like white figure swimming towards the camera, and then right in front of it, the dick boyfriend jumps in.
Yeah.
But I don't think they really noticed that.
No, they didn't.
No.
seem
And this
to
is it on
notice.
the dog at this point? No, it's not.
No, it's on. One of the kids has it,
Yeah.
but he doesn't seem to notice or
But
say
he
anything.
get taken
about
away
It. Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
But nothing happened.
And
And
so then they strap the camera to the dog at one point.
Yeah. Well, also when they go into like when the girlfriend's about to bone or whatever, there's this like loud sound that comes from outside.
Oh yeah.
But they're playing loud music and like everybody's like mad, so
They're
they kind
kinda
of just
enjoying
like dismiss it, I guess.
They're too mad to be worried about it.
Yeah. And it's like this like I don't know
It's like it sounds like
fog,
just deep ass
like
bass
a fog
foghorn.
horn.
It's
type
the sound of like every alien movie. Like it's the sound of the modern alien. The wow.
It was like Inception, yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, there you go.
Imagine that with more clicks and
Yeah.
hisses. But
So essentially, they just get overrun by
Grays.
aliens. Yeah, like gray, typical gray.
now
You see it from the view of the camera strapped to the dog the
Yeah.
entire time.
I remembered their costumes being way worse in this one, which is kind of weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I still didn't.
Maybe
They weren't very convincing still, but they were like,
Maybe
Wait.
it's just how they move.
They look like putty.
yeah, they
more
do.
Power
They
Rangers.
move that way too.
They did, yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't find them threatening in any
Right.
way.
Oh, yeah.
Like for instance, I noticed like he goes up into a barn, and like kind of it looks kind of like an attic, and like the alien pops open the attic door, and when he does it, he does like a jazz hands thing.
Yeah,
He throws his hand all the way through the hole and
Yeah.
like shakes his fingers a little bit, and then brings it
It's very
dramatically
dramatic.
down to the floor.
They come from
yeah.
the theater, the land of theater.
Like yeah, he's clearly putting on a show.
They're coming from regional theater of the planet.
Yeah. And like they're like when they were creeping up on them, like on the dock, they were really creeping. One of them was crawling for.
And they had a stroke
But it's
for some reason.
been established
Yeah.
they're bipedal, whatever. Bipedal.
And they can run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like sneaking up on them. They thought
That
this-
one-
even though they were
That one
being
definitely
stroked
makes the
hard.
least amount of sense. But
Yeah, because even at the end, they're chasing these kids through the woods, and they're like kind of fast, but then at one point they're crawling to add suspense. But then in the end, the last kid who's like escaping them, and like just gets sucked up by their ship. I
Yeah,
guess he just
yeah.
gets sucked up. So it's like just fucking suck these bitches.
yeah, why didn't you do that from
Yeah.
go?
It's good to scare the poop out of them first.
You had them all in the lake.
Easier for the probing.
It's not part of the hunt. Oh yeah, then we did establish one of the sisters gets eaten, so I guess they're there to eat them.
Yeah, they.
Or at least gets, they like, bite sick. her. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like.
Oh yeah, they did bite her. I forgot about that. They also, this I thought was cool. Like at some point, like there's all these lights and all this shit's crazy happening. They're running. People are getting eaten and shit. And then they hear like they see police like lights or whatever and siren or whatever. Like it's the police, go to the police. And then they go to this field and they're like just heading towards this bright light that you assume is like a searchlight. And then everything just goes fucking dark and it's them fucking with them.
Yeah,
I thought that was
pretty
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I thought that was a good thought. And they did the siren and everything. They,
I mean, maybe that's why they were crawling and like doing that stuff too. Maybe they're
just
just kind of fucking
just
around.
for the fun of it. Really, it
Because
has
at one
to be.
point they're hiding in the woods and the aliens act like they can't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
And
true,
they can
and they're like
imitate-
right in front
yeah.
of them.
Yeah, they can imitate sirens and travel light years, but like Rod said, they can't fucking work a flashlight. You know?
So yeah,
Maybe they were like teenagers too, just
Franken.
The last
Get up
shot
for
is the
midnight
kid
snack.
Yeah.
the last kid gets sucked up into the ship, and he's carrying the dog, who has been carrying the GoPro for the last the whole shit show, pretty much. And the dog just kind of falls from a certain height, and you get another death shot of a dog this time, a little tiny cute fucking dog, gasping his last breath. It was kind of sad.
Yeah.
What are we running,
The
Justin?
GoPro was fine
40.
though.
So
Oh, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that felt longer actually.
There was also, and then they pretty much wrapped up the rapper story, which
the frame story.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just-
We didn't mention that before the fourth one started, the girl kind of like just dies.
yeah,
And
she
the
kinda
guy,
just-
instead
just
of
keeps
calling
on.
the police or something, goes in and plays the fourth video.
Oh, time to watch it on
yeah, and the
video.
final video is of them entering the building, but it's right after this guy who was sitting there recording himself on the laptop that's there also spouting some bullshit and then shoots himself in the face, but only takes off his jaw,
Yeah.
and then he runs out of the room just as they walk in and start the movie basically.
You think they would have heard the gunshot?
That's what
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because they literally he shoots
They were
up,
right
sits
outside.
up.
10
That just
seconds.
makes too much sense.
Or that was there like blood everywhere when they came in?
He saw one. They were
Yeah,
in the movie.
on
he
set.
saw
That's how
one-
that guy
one
shot
little
his
spot
face
of
off.
blood.
One
Right
little
there.
spot of cat's up on the wall.
Yeah,
But
that's
then they
right.
just shot his face off
Yeah.
and got straight
And
to
he
work
was
cleaning
holding
it up.
it. He was holding his flesh
Yeah,
together.
you're not just walking around, you're not hiding from people when they come through the door after you shoot your jaw off. You're like,
You missed the part in the movie where he gets his pledge wipes out and starts
Yeah.
splashing up the blood
Oh
that's
no,
all over the
they're gonna be
place.
freaked
Thank
out.
God
by
I
that
put
jaw.
Oh.
Thank
Lying
God I
on
put
the
it on a
ground.
tarp. Just wrap up the tarp.
They're gonna be really freaked out when pieces of my teeth crunch under their shit.
And so basically, that guy gets killed, not by the dude with no jaw, but by his girlfriend, right?
No, he gets
No,
killed
no,
by
No, you're
a
right. The
dog.
girl, you're worried about that guy, and then the girl just sort of sits up and starts attacking him, and he hides in the closet.
He snaps her neck.
snaps her neck.
Snaps her neck.
And she keeps going.
But then she crawls
She's
around
not
with,
dead.
with a crooked
Yeah.
head.
She's got like a exorcist thing going.
Yeah, she does.
She looked like that thing that crawled out of the
Yeah,
cult
that's true.
person's...
Maybe she, after this movie,
Yeah.
at the end of this movie, she crawled into that VHS tape.
Maybe.
Because of magic.
The
That's my
ring
theory.
style.
Yeah.
There's got to be some crazy ass fan theory online
Dude.
somewhere about that.
We're making it now.
No.
We're making history.
This
right?
might be the only fan theory.
We've done it.
It requires fans.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Just kidding.
This is the part where we guess the Rotten Tomatoes critic score.
Critic score.
Everybody take a stab.
Bradley?
I'll start it off. I have to give this one a solid 65 at least.
Okay.
Critic score.
I'm gonna go with 35.
Whoa.
Hmm.
I'll go midsies with a 50.
49.
Fuck you.
Man, I was gonna do 50 also. I'll do 40. I'll just do 40.
Brad with 70.
Whoa.
What?
Critic score.
Critics?
Critic score.
How many critics?
The production
critics?
value.
Give me their names.
Good. 61 total.
That's
Wow.
a decent
That's a
amount.
solid
Good
pool.
for them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Critics' consensus. It's a scattershot as its predecessor, but VHS2 rounds up enough horror filmmaking talent to deliver a satisfying, nasty, albeit uneven, dose of gore.
There you go.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What do the users think, boys?
What do they think?
Oh, man.
We cast for the users.
I would say
What is that?
Tron. That was a Tron.
Reboot or Tron?
Yeah.
Reboot.
Reboot's more
for the
my
users.
speed.
There's a Tron podcast out there. You better not use that saying TM.
I feel like you're slowly gonna start glowing bright yellow or blue. Or...
Yeah.
Trademark.
All right, so
What do the users think?
users, I'm gonna go. I like the 60 range. I'm gonna go 60 on this one.
65.
I'm gonna say 30 on this one.
True.
Don't fuck me with your 29
80.
bullshit.
70.
I think it's Brad. What'd you say?
I said 60.
Yeah, it's 51.
Yeah, so I got both of those.
Whoa.
You guys are
Brad,
all
double take.
over the place.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
It is, yeah.
It
Since
is.
it's broken into different ones, you never know how people are gonna react to all of them together.
Yeah, right.
Plus,
hard
it's
to
the
say.
second one, and sequels almost
It's
never
rare
get
that-
as high of a rating.
Rare that the critics
Are
like it
higher
more
than
than the
the-
users.
Yeah.
That was over
That's pretty rare.
800. And then IMDb the users have 6.1 out of 10, and that's
I don't think they're
23,000 reviews.
That's a low for an
IMDb.
Yeah,
IMDb is ridiculous.
Yeah, they're hard to gauge.
yeah, they are.
It's like
Lots of
nothing.
trolls
Nothing
there.
falls outside of
agree.
like the 5 to
Yeah.
7 range.
Yeah.
So you're like, well,
If it does, you know it's good or shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Otherwise, if it's within like you said 5 to 7, you
it's
don't.
probably
it could be anywhere.
70% of it is in between those two.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, want to do personals?
sure.
Personal ratings?
We'll start with Brad, who picked it.
I liked it. I thought it was exactly what I wanted from a horror movie. You know, just blood, guts, zombies. Pretty much everything in this movie tried to eat people. I'm pretty sure. Even the cult, who I'm pretty sure I saw some lady get bit. Or did somebody get bitten in that?
They turned to zombies afterwards.
I mean, yeah, they're
I
very
mean,
yes.
zombie-esque, yeah.
But there was no zombie and nobody biting in the first one. The eyeball.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
They were attacking though.
that is true.
Still a lot of hordes, you know.
You had ghost, zombie, cult,
Alien.
Yeah,
And
they kind of
then some
had the
paranormal.
spread going there.
VHS2.
Ghastly face wounds
Yeah,
of everyone, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots of death shots.
Yeah, all face
GoPro.
wounds. There were so a lot of
Okay.
face wounds.
Sorry, Brad. We're taking
I
this
know.
over.
No, this is pretty much my thoughts.
You're shining them to us.
Yes, I'm just transmitting them.
The shinning.
You want to get
You got the
sued?
shinning.
Brad, what do you think?
What are we? Are we rating it out of 5 private eyes or?
5 bags of popcorn.
Ooh, I would give it. I'd give it a solid 3. Like, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad in my opinion. I think it has a little bit of something for everybody. So
Would you recommend?
I would recommend it. I think it's a fun just drinking horror movie.
Guitar?
I have a lot of difficulty thinking about this as one movie, just
Yeah.
because there are ones I like and there are ones I don't like, so it's kind of hard to kind of average that out. I think I'm gonna give it probably 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. I mean I feel like there are a couple of them with good ideas, like the cult one. I like that idea, even though it's not super original. But how they tell it is, I like the first one with the ghost and the hearing aid stuff. I like that. It's kind of a original plot device, and then the aliens was total crap. So like I didn't. It was just none of it made sense. It was all over the place. And then of course the kind of threading storyline is just almost there to justify the movie. Otherwise, to justify putting all these crazy videos together. But I do like that it kind of plays to your ADD. You know, like you as soon as it's just kind of like one mini story after another. And for that reason, it's like the review said, it's not super well paced. Because it just kind of depends on the individual story. So 2.5, would recommend to horror fans, especially if you like the first one. That's it. I wouldn't recommend it to non-horror. Obviously, it's very gory and low budget. So like unless you're kind of you like that kind of stuff, it's probably won't play too well. So 2.5 stars. It's decent.
I'm going to give it a 3 as well. I actually liked it more than I remembered. This is the second time I had seen it. And out of the 4, I really liked the first 3, like pretty solid all the way through. I like the like anthology like style where they're like mixed up. It's a really good horror like taster almost, like going out to a bar and like getting like a beer taster or a whiskey taster or something like that. Like, but it not like for like beginning horror, like for people who love horror. There's like some gruesome gore in here, a lot of like face wounds with a lot of gore. There's like some really cool like horror ideas, like the following a zombie around and like maybe like seeing ghosts through like a digital eye. Like there's just like some cool concepts, and like it just kind of includes like all these different things. Aliens, even though I didn't like them. The cult was cool with the devil popping out. I don't know, just a lot of all over the place, but individually they're pretty solid. So that's why I kind of like the style of it. But yeah, I give it a 3. I like the first 3 a lot. I thought the alien one was terrible. I thought it was ridiculous. The only part I liked about the alien one had nothing to do with the horror, like just the kids being kids. But yeah, I would recommend it for horror fans. It's especially if you like gore. It's a good gore movie for sure. So 3 from Tuesday.
Gore.
Drewby?
I'll give it. I liked it more than I expected I would.
Half a star.
For the movie.
I don't-
movies.
It's tough. I really didn't like the first 2 segments, and I don't like the rap story, like the main private eye story or whatever.
Yeah.
I was pretty bored and silent up until the cult video, and I actually really liked the cult video. I don't know, it was just most interesting. It's the only one with character development.
Yeah.
Well, at least with an attempt at character development. They're pretty basic characters, but I really liked it, and it had the best acting out of all of them. And I actually liked the 4th video. The aliens don't make sense in their methods.
Shut up the tape.
I understand your complaints about the aliens not being consistent, but I thought it had the best camera angles or camera work of all the videos. I really liked the kid being dragged away in a sleeping bag. I thought that was really cool. Sound effects were good in that one too. Two stars.
Alright.
2 stars.
That's pretty good for Drew, who hates
Yeah.
all of these.
Hates all movies.
For a Drew on found footage?
Our found
that's not bad.
footage, yeah. Drew hates
do we-
That's why we keep him around, so he can tell us what the sounds were. Because I wouldn't.
Is it documented what Drew's highest rated movie was?
5.
I think
5? A full 5?
Babadook.
he probably gave the Visitor like 6 or 7 stars.
The Thing you rated pretty
Jesus
high too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I think everybody gave the thing a 5 except for me. So if you
Sound.
watch the thing, you gave it a 5.
Yeah.
Sound effects, man.
And maybe Housebound.
I'd be okay if this movie used like 50s radio sound effects. Whoop!
I feel like we mentioned that character development was tough to do in a short story movie.
An anthology,
That is
yeah.
Drew's biggest.
You gotta
pet.
I'm glad you just said that, Jack. I really like what saved the fact that I don't care for found footage. What saved this movie for me is the fact that it was an anthology movie.
Yeah.
So I like the feel of bouncing back and forth. Even though I didn't like the main story, it kind of reminded me of an episode of like Bill Nye the Science Guy, where you get these random quick clips of Bill Nye just saying something or a kid just saying something.
And then he
back,
shoots
and
himself
then
in the face.
And then you get a fake music video
and then
about
you get
gravity.
a longer segment, and then you go back to this really quick segment,
Yeah.
and then another longer segment. I like that. And another thing I liked about the 4th video was similar to what Justin said. It was the kids being kids. Like I really felt like slumber parties that I was a part of when I was in middle school, like messing with siblings and stuff like that. It was good. So 2 stars. They got lucky.
Maybe not next time. Andy?
I I like Ross have a hard time gauging these separately because they come in such a variety of pace and quality.
Even length.
Yeah. Yeah, there's really, like, consistency is not key here. Like, it's not keeping it together, really. But I also, like, I don't think that's a fault. I think that's a strength, especially with this anthology, it feels like hopping around YouTube or some shit, which is one of my favorite pastimes, so I'm totally on board with that.
Yes, we know.
But, I think I'm going to give it a 2.5. I don't like it quite as much as I like the first one overall. I think the first one was more consistent a little bit, like more consistent tones. The rapper story in this one, just like the first one, is my least favorite thing about it, just because none of it makes any sense except to service these VHSs to us.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Which I like it for that only, but everything else about it just feels like I'm wasting time spending time in that world.
Could watch another short.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
at least in this one they did try to make it more of its own short at the end, but I didn't buy it really.
Well, with like some of his commentaries that the guy that had shot himself in the face, like he makes it seem like there's some type of internet following around these
yeah,
weird
it's like he's been
VHSs.
investigating it or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
And
Yeah, like this is
collecting
the
the
thing.
tapes.
Yeah.
They don't really explain that. That's literally all you get.
If you watch them,
It's all just hinted at.
with you.
Those things, those sequences they try and infuse it with a little bit of that, but really all it is a jump scare if you're lucky, or like a hidden in the background scare if you're lucky,
Yeah.
and then hey, what's this on this VHS?
And then a wrap up.
Yeah. It's, to me, it serves the purpose that they wanted it to serve, but it's not compelling. The rest of them, I think, are pretty good. Like, the cult one, I agree, is great. I can't complain about that, except for the, like, rosy glasses I had about that costume. That costume's pretty wretched. But it made me laugh pretty hard, so for that, I also liked it.
Actually, I also wanted to mention that I liked the Papa line.
I like the idea of it, but it's just not serviceable with that costume. Anyway, but the first one I liked okay. I think that's definitely on the lower end of the 4 for me. But the second one I definitely enjoyed, and the third one I loved. The fourth one, the Aliens one, I, like Justin, liked it for the kids stuff. If they had just made a whole, like, 10 minutes about just kids being shitty to each other at a slumber party, it would have been a lot of fun. But the Greys, they looked a little better than I remembered, but they still didn't look too hot. And I think that Drew was on something. Like, they did have good camera angles or whatever, and a couple of, like, but nothing that couldn't have been done in any other movie, really, you know, and nothing that hasn't, you know, been at least some kind of done before. Not that that's necessarily a killer, but it didn't keep me because the core conceit of the thing didn't work for me. So I guess that's it, really. Like, I liked it. It's extremely gory. It's not really a thinker, you know what I mean? It's purely, you know, gore and scare driven. And every so often, you know, you gotta go with something like that. So I give it a 2.5. It's enjoyable, but certainly not groundbreaking.
Recommend?
And I would recommend it only to people who are into gore, because if you're not into gore and you're watching this, or even if you're not super into gore, it's gonna be weird for you. So.
Well, I would give it a 3 stars too, for most of the reasons you guys said. Just to kind of flesh out what we just did, where it's hard to give it a whole rating without breaking down what you think about each one of them. So, the first one, which one?
The first one was
Eye.
That might have been my least favorite, actually, just because.
I thought that one was okay. I liked the idea of it. I thought the execution was pretty good. Though what killed me on that one was the acting.
Yeah.
Like, both of those leads I couldn't really stand. I thought it was kind of cheeseball. The second one was the zombie. I like that one. I love the idea the most. I thought it was pretty well executed. But again, I like the idea. What bothered me weirdly more than any of them that hung me up is that it's actually GoPro that went onto the VHS, like we mentioned. Like that, like bothered me because I think she pops it in with a little piece of tape on it with an X on it or something, and she watches it, and it's like a GoPro. And it's like, how the hell? Like, why would you do that? But anyways,
They have to be on VHS.
I think that transition just always sticks with me. I'm like, wait, this is a GoPro. Anyways, that one I do like. The third one, the cult one, I really like. I liked it the first time I saw it. The second time, what kills me the most is the corny effects with the head, like you guys said. But by the time you get there, if you've seen the VHS one, you're kind of like not expecting a good Minotaur. You know what I mean? Like when it comes, you're like, oh, it's shitty. Yeah, I guess it would be shitty. This is a VHS movie. You know what I mean? So. Plus,
it almost looks like a stand-in, though.
yeah, it's true. Plus, it has our favorite character in the movie, which there's always one like awesome character that we love to watch, and it's the crazy Asian guy.
Yeah.
So I just kept wishing that, and when he explodes, you're like, it's oh yeah, but it's oh there's more. Like it should just end with him exploding, you know, or something. But either way, like I said, that was a good one. I liked it. Last one. I am so tired of people screwing up alien horror movies. Like, I feel like it's doable, and so many bad alien horror movies are out there, they keep screwing it up. So this just adds to my annoyance, because, again, they're not scary at all. They're, like, really inconsistent, you know, like you would think aliens wouldn't be. I thought the camera work was good, but the effects, again, not just the makeup effects, the suits, but the lighting and the fog, the way they show the aliens is they do the music and they cue these big floodlights that show the aliens. Sometimes that cue isn't even perfect. It's burr lights or lights cue, and then of course you see it looks like they're in a basketball court with like some fog around. It's not like a completely fog riddled area. It doesn't look real. It looks like they're shooting a couple fog machines at it. And to me, it looked too lo-fi to buy. Like it made me laugh. Like you said, it was like watching the Power Rangers Putty movie or something like that. And again, they screwed up aliens, and that hacks me off. So. Last one I don't like, but this is my favorite of the VHS movies. I think it's better than the rest of them for sure, but it still doesn't stand out as a great horror movie. I do like actually I think I'm the only one that likes the wraparound on this. I like it because they tried. The first one is kind of straightforward. It was an original idea, and they tried to tie it in as best as they could in their own original way, where the guy from the first movie is making his own movie by killing himself and then killing the next people that find these videos. And again, he got possessed by watching the videos. That's what happened in the first one, basically. And then the girl got possessed by watching the videos and started chasing him around, and then he got killed by the original guy. So I kind of like the wraparound. It kind of ties into me. They tried. And I like the payoff because the dude with the jawless dude freaks me out.
Yeah, the tongue.
That last like payoff when he shoots himself and kind of the da-na-na, da-na-na, moment where you're like, what's going on? Oh, he's still in the house. He's gonna get you. Kind of moment. I liked it. Like I said, I kind of get what they were going for, but it's not really well executed. So still gets a 3 from me.
All right, aggregate. Somewhere around
2.8, 2.7.
Is that what it is?
16 divided by 6.
Yeah, it's 2.6.
There you go.
Alright.
One piece of trivia. It was originally going to be called SVHS, which is like a specialty form of VHS that came out was short-lived.
I didn't even know.
I remember
that.
seeing it online. Under that.
I had to look it up. Like,
V8.
It's like the HD DVD of.
Yeah, it's a forgotten. Yeah, exactly. It's a forgotten like
I could have had the
format.
third one, Betamax.
Betamax, Laserdisc. The Laserdisc horror movie would be
Someone transferred their
great.
GoPro to laser.
Laserdisc. It's the future.
We
Yeah,
got
check it out and
laser
flip it over.
disc.
They all be futuristic horror movies.
Our kids will be watching like, you know, thumb drive pirated.
There's already like online like they call it creepypasta, like ghost stories or whatever online that involve like a hidden file called Kill or whatever, you know, like Kill.exe.
The Ghost in the Machine.
Fucking crazy shit.
Like Final Destination meets Tron or something.
You open this and you see like a sad cartoon of Mickey Mouse and then you die 3 days later. Or some shit. Like crazy. I'm not making I'm only making that up and then I'm rearranging things that I have actually
Slenderman or
seen.
something.
Those are
I
real
could
things.
totally see
the
that.
Pokemon thing. There was that
On
whole
like a
urban
13-year-old
legend.
girl's like Facebook page or something.
Oh my god. I got a
Some
virus. It's kill.exe.
Clickbait crap.
What do I do?
In the spirit of that
Restore.
cell phone movie where you get a call and you die or something.
one missed call.
Yeah, something like, yeah, I
great.
can't remember what it was called. But just,
No service.
We know our shitty horror
Can you hear
movies
me
here
now?
on Straight Chilling.
Yep.
Alright, so who's next?
Good pick for B-Rad on his first pick. Rob is next, and I assume he will be picking It Follows because he's been just like bottled up to watch and cast that movie.
I will be
That would be my
honest.
guess.
I wanted to pick that, but since I found out Rob was not going to be here, I
Yeah.
decided not to.
Dude, like Rob.
You're
like,
welcome, Rob.
I
He
think
probably
like,
would have killed you.
He's had multiple chances though. I've heard him.
well, he was waiting for his like special DVD to
Oh,
come in.
God.
Like he didn't want to do a ripped version. He like pre-ordered it, and I think it just came in like a week or two ago. So he's like been waiting for his chance to show his DVD.
I bought it at Target.
You guys want to watch my DVD?
So
VOD.
that would be, if I was a betting man, it'd be we will be casting It Follows next week. But we'll see. It's Bob's pick next.
Who knows, man?
Well-
maybe we'll do a Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Ooh.
That's it for us. Until next time.
Keep chilling.
Please keep chilling. Please. Please do that.
I mean, it's voluntary.
I beg. I beg. I beg. I beg. I beg. I beg. I beg.